It's time for Monaco, baby. Yes, it's Season 4 of the Ultimate Career. And for the 4th time in this series, we are visiting the Principality today. It is looking as if it's going to be a little bit rainy for the Monaco Grand Prix. Leave a like down below if you're happy to see the Ultimate Career back. Let's get into it. So after a gripping race last time out in Catalonia, which saw Sergio Perez take the victory, which lifted him up into 2nd in the driver's standings, we could only manage P4 in that one. And we are just sort of hovering about 3rd place in the driver's standings, but our teammate is yet to get off the mark, so he'll be looking to do so in today's Grand Prix, which is, of course, Monaco. Sebastian Vettel dominated the weekend last year, and we managed to recover from a pretty poor qualifying to get up into P4. I seem to remember pulling off a few decent overtakes, it has to be said. And yeah, it's looking like it could be a one-stop race, which could negate Lotus's tyre advantage, of course, which they've had over the course of the season, and has lifted Lotus pretty high up in the constructors' standings. Of course, it's only a week after Spain, so there's no new major upgrades, and it's looking as if there's going to be rain forecast over the course of the weekend, which could throw the cat amongst the pigeons. But without further ado, let's get into qualifying. So it was only P15 in qualifying, what was a very disappointing session for ourselves. We just couldn't hook the lap up in Monaco, which is very unusual for us. Our teammate, though, managed to get up into P4, but it is going to be an all-Ferrari front row for the Monaco Grand Prix. Wish me luck. So here we are then for the Monaco Grand Prix. It's race time and it's intermediate conditions. We have a 37% chance of rain. Obviously, it said there that we're probably going to be doing a one-stopper, and it should be the case, but it looks as if we could be transitioning onto the dry tyres midway through the race, as now we go out onto the grid for round number 6 of the season. It's an all-Ferrari front row, and there you can see in P4 is a Williams, but it is our teammate Sam Bird. We're down in P15, so let me know down below, guys, where do you think we're going to finish in this Monaco Grand Prix? Can we get into the points? Can we even get a podium? Well, we'll find out now as we're revving up to the 5 red lights here in Monaco, and it is lights out and away we go. We get a little bit bogged down at the start. It's Paul di Resta with a fantastic start up ahead of us, and we get passed by Jules Bianchi on the inside. Chilton also trying to go round us, and we just, well, I think we've just squeezed out one of the Marussias on the inside, as it's still a Ferrari 1-2 with Esteban Gutierrez there in P3. A brilliant camera shot there, as it's one of the Lotuses and both of the McLarens further back, and there is a real scrap going on ahead as we are in P13 now, looking to get past one of the Red Bulls of Sebastian Vettel. Him and Mark Webber are really going at it now, but we go around the outside of the 2011 world champion and get up just outside of the points now in P12, so only a couple of positions to make up, but we've made a decent bit of ground. 3 positions on the first lap of Monaco is not too bad whatsoever. It's obviously going to be really difficult to overtake, and yeah, we're stuck behind now a pretty quick car in Mark Webber, so it was really shocking to see the Red Bulls this low down, but they are struggling in the wet conditions. You can see they're under braking. Mark Webber very tentative. We are a little bit more confident on that brake pedal as we go a little bit wide into to back, but now through the swimming pool chicane. Beautiful camera view as we come through there, and we're just following the Red Bull through as we actually take out the bollard, which then Sebastian Vettel runs over. But there's a big train of cars forming behind our teammate Sam Bird, who's had an awful start. I believe he is down in P8 already, but we all funnel through and end the first lap pretty much unscathed. And now oh, we're going to go down the inside of Mark Webber. that was an audacious last-minute move. Are we going to be able to pull it off? I don't think we are. We just couldn't get the traction out of turn 1, but now coming towards the end of lap 2. And this could be a good opportunity to try and get past into, possibly into Raskas. Are we just about far enough behind? Yes, we are. We make the dive down the inside, and there is no contact whatsoever. And that is a brilliant move. Webber completely caught unawares. Now, we get a warning for causing a collision, but we're actually going to take a look at the replay now, just to see whether we did make any contact. You know, I was more than willing to give the position back to Mark Webber, but as you can see, we go down the inside of him there. There is absolutely no contact. We just about make the corner and completely, you know, catch Webber unawares. So I didn't give the position back because there was no contact whatsoever. You know, I did make sure of that because I know you guys will be criticising me in the comment section down below, but there is no criticism for that as we nearly out-Sutil Adrian Sutil. Obviously, in the 2013 Grand Prix, he pretty much did that exact same move to Fernando Alonso as we try and do it on him there, but we couldn't make it stick, and then we get a little bit of wheel spin, which means that we can't make the move. And we were pretty much on the tail of Sutil all the way to lap 6 as we completely cut across the chicane there. Somehow, we don't get a warning for that. And Sutil is just bashing against the walls, and yeah, it was just sort of occurred to me. I just thought I'd put that little section in because, you know, you could literally cut the corner so much. Obviously, I wasn't doing it on a regular basis at this stage, but we actually go down the inside of Adrian Sutil, and well, I sort of caught myself a bit unaware there, and we go through now up into the point scoring position. So yeah, not all too proud of the corner cut, but the move down the inside was beautiful on Sutil. Just about enough room as we come to the end of lap 9 to start lap 10, where we were just sort of trying to reel in Jean-Eric Vergne in front, who is just behind our teammate Sam Bird, who is still just about maintaining P8, so fair play to him, although he is a long way behind the cars in front. And now we come through the chicane again, once again cutting it, and it was just, like, obviously on the 2016 game, the chicane was sort of like reprofiled for the 2016 Grand Prix, so yeah, it was sort of implemented on the 2016 game, and I just could not get used to the old layout whatsoever. So we get a warning that time, which was very much fair enough. And yeah, we just sort of dropped behind Vergne. Our tyres were going off a bit. We were once again having problems with tyre wear, and as you can see, we cut the chicane for the 3rd time. I actually, you know, I put in every single time that I've cut that chicane, and pretty rightfully so, we've been given a penalty. So yeah, the 2nd time in this series we've been given a drive-through penalty, and the 1st time this season that we've had a penalty, it was a drive-through. I took it on the chin. I came through. I will admit that I am an absolute corner-cutting genius. Not something to be too proud of, though, when you're getting penalties like that. And that has really, really set us back in this race. And as I came out of the pits, I just sort of realised that there was no rain falling on the screen. So, in a sense, I think that penalty almost worked to our advantage, because as we came to the end of lap 16, the next lap, we think, you know what, I'm going to dive into the pits and I'm going to fit the prime tyres to the car. So, the question is, can we go 23 laps on a set of prime tyres? Now, I'd like to think that we can, because obviously traditionally, Monaco is a one-stop, so, you know, fit the option tyres for 16 laps, and then the prime tyres for the final 23. You think in your head that'd work out pretty nicely. So yeah, we were pretty much banking on that being the case, and as we come out of the pit lane, we've only actually lost 1 position, and that is to Charles Pic. And before long, we were back on his tail. We could see that we were pretty much just about reaching the crossover point as I came into the pit lane. So now we were very much faster, even just half a lap later. On these option tyres, we try and go down the inside of Pic. We do just about make it stick. The tail was really coming out. We really had to try and control this car. It was a bit of an animal on this outlap, to be honest. But yeah, the speed was definitely there on the dry tyres. And as you can see, coming out the pit lane now is Paul di Resta and another car just slightly in front of him. So they've pitted a lap later, and we've gained quite a bit of ground on them. So a points finish is still more than likely for us. And as we go purple now through the second sector of lap 18, we are right on the tail of Paul di Resta, who's still probably trying to get his tyres up to temperature. Although You know, now that I don't think there is any rain on the circuit at all, so it should be pretty easy for the Scotsman as we go purple and set a fastest lap time. And on lap 18, as we go through Casino Square, he is obviously struggling for some tyre warm-up in that Force India Paul di Resta. We sweep down the inside, which then turns to the racing line as we come towards the end of Sector 1. And brilliant little move there, I believe, yeah, up into P13 now, and once again going purple through Sector 1, so we really were sort of in the zone on this lap, but then we just go a little bit wide, and that shows you that you can never get overconfident when going around Monaco. So, yeah, for a few laps then, we were just sort of grinding away, you know, trying to put the lap times in, and you can just see in front of us there is quite a big queue of cars. Now, there was some blue flags out. I can't quite think which driver it was. I believe it could have been Max Chilton who was being lapped, and then there was just a massive cluster of cars behind him, and it really worked into our favour. In fact, you can see that we are you know, very much catching up with the train of cars ahead, and it is Max Chilton, of course, the snail from the 2013 season. But yeah, we're only 2.5 seconds behind Webber now, and the gap was about 6 seconds at one point. And Kimi Raikkonen is another one of the lap cars, and he has held up Mark Webber, and as you can see, we are right on the tail of the Australian once again. We've already nearly come to blows once this afternoon, and there was the second occasion, this time on lap 28. It was very early on in the Grand Prix, of course, when we made that diving move down the inside of him, but there was definite contact there. And I can't really take the blame for that, but yeah, as we start lap 29, you can just see on the tyre gauge in the bottom corner, the tyres are very much wearing out, so that could be an issue as we go later on into the Grand Prix. But as we take a look at the replay cameras, we definitely made contact and then tried to go up the inside of him, but there just wasn't enough room. And then he hits the wall. It was all just a very bizarre set of corners, it has to be said. We just about managed to stay ahead of the lapped car, of course, of Chilton, who was just trying to follow us through, really. And now there are more lapped cars in the way, one of them being Guido van der Garde, who is getting in the way of Webber, and Webber has actually dived into the pit with 10 laps remaining. So I think he actually had some damage on his car when he went into the wall. When we were both passing Kimi Raikkonen, so we now go up into P9. We're going to try and go to the end of this Grand Prix, but come lap 32, you can see our teammate Sam Bird is right on our tail, and we're actually causing a little bit of a train of cars behind us, which is a little bit unfortunate, it has to be said, and we can get absolutely no traction out of that first corner. And at this point, I am just, I know what's coming. I know what's coming. The tyre wear is creeping in. Our teammate's going to go up our inside, but are we going to try and defend from him? Yes, we are. He's actually on the option tyre, so he must have made another stop. Which means that maybe a lot of the other cars are feeling tyre wear as well. Obviously, we know that the Williams is one of the cars more susceptible to tyre wear, which is probably why Bird has been into the pit lane again. But he's now been passed by Jenson Button, who's right on our tail, and you can just see the volume of cars behind us. We are definitely going to struggle to try and keep ahead of these cars, even around Monaco, a circuit which overtaking is so difficult around. We are basically ice skating around the Principality now. The sun is out, but it might as well be snowing because our tail is kicking out so much that there is no chance that we'll be able to stay in the points. We let our teammate through, and there's just no chance that we can get on the inside of him. Surely not. Oh no, we do. We make an audacious move down the inside, back up into the points. But, well, that was short-lived, and we're not going to fight with him too much, as now Sebastian Vettel tries to go over inside. He's made contact with us. We have flown into the wall, and that is it. Our race is over now, surely. We're down in P14, and our tyres are not going to hold up, and just to add insult to injury, we can't get out of this wall. We've been lapped by the race leader, Fernando Alonso, and now that even if the safety car comes out, there is no hope of us scoring points. Our team have told us to come into the pit lane and just end this race, save the engine for some future races. So very disappointing afternoon. We've lost half of our front wing, but that is the least of our worries at the moment as we peel off into the pit lane to end the Grand Prix. And there you can see Fernando Alonso took the checkered flag ahead of Esteban Gutierrez and Nico Hülkenberg. That Sauber has really been well upgraded as we've come towards the European season. Our teammate just missed out on points there in P11. And there you can see us DNF in P19. Massa also DNFing again again from a Grand Prix. He's had some rotten luck so far this season, and we fall down into P6 in the Drivers' Championship. Roman Grosjean, shout out to him. He is up into P2 in the Drivers' Championship. You know, I said earlier on in the episode that Lotus have benefited from good tyre wear, and that's obviously been the case with another good strategy today. But Fernando Alonso looks as if he is running away with it. He's 44 points clear of Grosjean, so surely it is his to lose for the rest of the season. Ferrari leading by a country mile already from McLaren in the constructors standings. We are all the way down in P7, but join me next time, guys, for what's looking like another wet weekend in Canada at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Canadian Grand Prix. But yeah, if you've enjoyed this one, do leave a like down below, and I'll catch you guys next time for another video. Until then, do take care. Bye bye.